Hey everybody, I'm JocoTheCrusader. I'm a League of Legends streamer by day, RPG gamer by night. I stream Monday through Friday, 12 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I love streaming just because it's so...
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're getting me chaotic 9 a.m. like not prepared for anything. So, gosh.
No sweat.
All right, so go ahead and tell me your username, how long you've been streaming, if you're an affiliate or partner, and then also your average viewers and current followers.
All right. I'm JocoTheCrusader. I just turned affiliate March of this year, mid-March. I started streaming just this year, February, but I had like a small stint back in 2018 for like a week or two just to dabble, but nothing as serious as it is now. I usually average about 8 viewers at the moment, and I have 163 followers.
All right, so let's talk about your analytics for a second. I know you've only been streaming for a few months, but how do you look at your data, and then do you incorporate that into your streams?
Yeah, so taking a look at my data, usually the average viewers kind of gives me an idea of like what days are best to be streaming at the moment, and so Twitch kind of helps me understand if it actually makes sense to be streaming Monday through Friday. Like for example, I've even been considering switching up and not doing Tuesdays and focusing more on just content creation those days, just because that usually seems to be the day it kind of dips a little bit. And then getting more content on other socials and YouTube in general kind of potentially seems to be like a better idea, utilizing my time, that is. The follows as like a metric, I guess, kind of just helps me understand too if my engagement is actually up to par or not. And so usually it kind of tells me, was I focusing more on the gameplay those days? Was I focusing more on my chat those days? Whichever one kind of garners to the community on that given day helps me get an idea. So not necessarily like a true and hard metric, but it still just gives me an idea at least. And then I feel like even just Nightbot's top chatter helps me kind of understand like which of the viewers are a little bit more consistent, and I'll try to cater to those people a little bit more too, because you can kind of build on like not just the gaming aspect, but even the what are you doing in real life. So for some people it's, oh, you're pursuing this college degree type of thing, and so I'll follow their journey as well as they're following mine type of thing. Or maybe they're going for a new job, and so it's like you're able to just get a little bit more personable then. And I feel like that always makes it cool when it does kind of get outside of gaming, because it creates that community aspect a little bit more. So it's cool.
Yeah, completely. Talking about engaging with your community members, how do you do that per se with either streams or social media?
Yeah, so for like Twitch in general, I know this is kind of the standard one, but with Streamlabs, it kind of posts on Twitter right away. And so that's, I know, kind of more the generic one, but then building off that, usually you can use all of your socials in another way too. And so that's just usually at least saying you're going live, but I try to get it to like coincide with both the title and the go live notification. So then they can kind of tell, like, for example, if it was like my birthday week type of thing, it might be the whole week is like birthday events, and we'll be doing like unique things every single day. And then the go live notification kind of helps like indicate what that'll be, and the title will be the fun part of it all. Mm-hmm. And then your socials will actually be like, I don't know, the pictures or everything else that it makes it a little bit more spunky and spazzy. But
yeah. Yeah, so talking about go live notifications on Twitch itself, what do you use?
Yeah, so I've tried a little bit of everything. I feel like if I said something like on the grind again, that doesn't usually get as much as something where I'll say like Feeding Frenzy Fridays, nom nom nom, or something like, I don't know. Okay. Just being like a bit more out there seems to get people more interested, and then I'll even see viewers comment on that when they do join chats. Whereas if I do the more generic things, they'll be like, honestly, they may not even show up because it's more typical in that sense. So trying to be creative, or at least show your side in your notification, can do a little bit at least, even though it's not the main thing, I guess.
Yeah. No, I love that. So how do you personally adapt with social media algorithm changes?
Yeah, so this one's kind of tricky, because I felt like at first I was posting a couple of times a day, but it almost seemed to like overlap each other or like cannibalize each other in a sense. So if I did like a morning post, for example, and then I did an evening post, I felt like my morning post wouldn't get as many as the evening post or vice versa type of thing.
Hmm.
Whereas now if I just do the classic post once a day at the same time every day, it almost seems to kind of like build on top of each other
Hmm.
um, throughout the week, throughout the month, whatever you want to call it. But that seems to have been the better result for me, at least. So I try to just stick to doing one a day, same time, or at least within the same like 15-20 minute window every day. So that's just been my go-to strategy, at least.
Yeah. Is it on all forms of social media?
It is, yep. So it'll
Okay.
be YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yep,
Wow. Good for you
all
for
that.
starting with 2 times a day. Oh my gosh.
It was
Would not
way
be
too much,
me.
honestly.
All right. So, what tags work best for you and your channel?
Yeah, so for me, since I usually play League of Legends, it's more of the competitive ones, and this is where it can be that more generic, like wins or climb will kind of get a little bit more traction. But at
Mm.
the same time, I do like to kind of have my own personal tags on there as well. So for Joco the Crusader, I do like what's called Game Crusades, and that's just like my version of conquering the game.
Oh, that's
So like,
cool.
yeah, so it just kind of adds my own little flair slash my own tag because I know some people kind of do that, but then the thought is like eventually that would make any future content, even on like the other social medias, kind of all have their own unique tag, but that would be probably more of a long-term thought. So
Hmm. That's cool though. I love that.
thanks.
So, how do you personally get creative and stand out from the rest?
Yeah, so this one is tough too because I do feel like for me with League as the primary one, even though there's the other games too, it's kind of being able to utilize like even just the in-game chat, and sometimes you'll find you'll get other people to join your stream afterwards or beforehand. And if you guys do end up having like a good time gaming together, usually I'll end up trying to game with them pretty much right after or later in the week kind of a thing.
Hmm.
And so then it kind of does create the like friendship type relationship pretty quickly because we're both interested. We felt like we already had like chemistry and all that jazz. And then sometimes it kind of spins off into, hey, what other games do you play? Would you want to try this? And that was kind of the initial way that I discovered. It's called Misery Esports, and they eventually started becoming a little bit more of my stream, and I joined their whole thing. And then that was like a way to meet more people. And then even off that, we kind of started finding like streamer collabs through that.
Think back to when you made affiliate, which was only probably 2 months ago, and then
Yeah.
where you are now. Is there anything that you're like, wow, that actually really helped me?
Yeah, I think again I'll touch on like the fact that joining like a group of like-minded people early on with the whole Misery Esports thing was definitely kind of just pure luck because I was again me just putting my name out there and then them reaching out and asking, hey, do you want to join? And so that kind of garnered that initial like 3, 4, 5 viewers that would always be there. And then even after like those initial collabs with a few different other people that I found either through Twitter, through the game, through Misery, that also kind of got some more regulars in there. So, but ultimately it still came down to like being fairly consistent like in my schedule and finding ways that would get people to come back and view it as like literally a TV show kind of a thing. And then them being like, okay, I know what to expect. I know that there's going to be these people, not just in the game or the collab, but also within the chat. And then they can kind of build off each other without me doing, I'll say, all the heavy lifting or talking with them. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's been the main thing, consistency, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. I know. I love that. All right. Well, we're going to quick say goodbye to YouTube and then I'll talk to you right after this. Okay.
All right.
All right. Say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.